Hi guys, this is Atco. You know, I do a little DJ work here and there, and most of it just for fun, and I do it for free. Well, I did Christmas party, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed going to the bigger parties where there'll be, 30, 40, 50 people, and it's fun. I can talk to them and things like that. Well, anyways, it went well, and one of the ladies came up and said, we have a bridge club that we set up, and I wonder whether you would come and play some country music. We'd love to have some country music while we're playing. Well, I started thinking about that, and it's going to be bad enough to just sit there and play some music while they're playing cards. I thought, 4 hours? 4 hours? Well, I didn't want to just say, I can't do it, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Didn't want to do that, but I also don't want to sit there. And I thought about what else could I do. I got plenty of music. I could just play a CD, take one of my boom boxes and let them play it. And I'm sure that would work just fine. And I started thinking about this one. I bought this one in Goodwill a couple months ago for $8. Now, I've got enough of these IJukes, but the thing I liked about this is that it had one of those earlier ones that had the bubbles. Only one of the bubbles worked, the other tube was broken, but having that one bubble in there, plus it also had the AC adapter for the power that came with it. Didn't have a remote, and of course no iPod, and the front of it was really scratched real bad. But I was thinking I could use this for parts. I had to replace one of those tubes once, and it cost me 35 bucks plus another 10 bucks to ship, and they're very expensive to have to replace. For 8 bucks just to keep this thing and have one more tube in there, it's worth it. So I bought the thing, and I was only going to just keep it for parts. And then I started thinking, I wonder if I can do something with this thing, with these ladies. So I don't have an iPod for them to use. And even if I did, I don't have a remote for it. But I know you can use a CD as an input to the player, and it amplifies the speakers very well. So I thought, what am I going to use? Well, I found this, all my trips to yard sales this year, I found a CD player. I don't know why I bought it. It was only $1, but didn't have the remote. And without the remote, I don't know how much I'm going to use it. But, when you see something, you buy it, and you think about it later. And I bought it, and I've had this thing all summer with nothing to do with it. I thought, well, maybe I can use this thing, because at least I could plug it in there. I could start a CD, and this thing will play MP3 files in there, so I could put 5 hours worth of music on one CD, stick it on there, let them play it, and they don't have to adjust anything. So I thought that might be okay. Then I thought, well, what am I going to make this thing look a little better? I don't like the way it looks. I don't like having just one of the tubes working. So I didn't want to go to all the trouble to try to pull that tube out of there, because you got to tear this whole thing completely. So what I did, I just took some black tape and taped out most of where the tubes were, and then what was that I couldn't use from a curve of the tapes, I just used some black paint, and I blacked out all the problems where the one tube was here and then the other's broken. So now that cleans up pretty good. And then this part that was real scratched, I thought, well, maybe I don't even need darn thing. So I went apart and pulled that part of it out that was all scratched, and actually it looks even better without it, because Had the name of Crosley on it and IJuke and all that. I didn't mind at all having that thing off, and it actually looks better without it on there. So I put that off, and then the only thing you can see from this thing is where the iPod jack is. And I thought, well, this is another thing I picked up at a yard sale this year. It's actually a Christmas ornament and had Elvis on it. And I think I paid $4 for it. And I figured I'd find something to use with that thing, and it's just perfect in there. I glued it onto right to the front there, and it actually looks like it's meant to be there. Alright, so all of a sudden it's looking pretty good. So again, this is something I bought probably 5-6 years ago. But I see these darn universal remotes. And I wonder whether that thing would work. So, you know, it's not the one for the iJuke itself, but it's for the DVD player. And I found that it's Magnavox, and looked at what the codes were for the Magnavox, and I found like 15 on there. Found the one that would make it work, and now all of a sudden it works, and I can turn it on, turn it off. I can go to the next channel using remote, and now they can do whatever they want. So this might work out pretty cool. So altogether I got 15 bucks in this thing. I paid 8 bucks for the jukebox from Goodwill. I got the DVD player that I got at a yard sale for $1. I got a cable for it, for put my inputs into it. That was $1. I got my Elvis for $4 on top of that, and I got my remote for another $1. I think that all comes out to about 15 bucks. So actually, when I play with this thing, I would show it off to you right now playing it, but anything I'd play, they'd probably give me a hit or something for copyright, so I'll just have to tell you about it. But it works really good, and I really like, you know, I've done stuff about the iJukes before. I like them. They make a lot of good noise. The speakers sound good. So this works out pretty well. So now I'm just anxious to go and try that off and see if anybody else wants to just borrow something like this thing, let it go. So anyways, you never know. You buy this kind of stuff. I buy a lot of crap that, you know, my wife will always say, what are you going to do with that stuff? And generally I don't. But when you got to put something together, it's nice to have those little parts you got left and right, and always makes me feel good that I made something out of the stuff that was junk, and I think it actually turned out pretty good. So just thought I'd show it to you. This is my little $15 jukebox, and that's it for now. So this is Atco, signing off.